Very good morning, children, and welcome to the next class of SST, class 10th. We are starting today chapter number 2, Sectors of Indian Economy. So, from the name itself, very clear that in this chapter we are going to read about the three sectors of Indian economy: the primary sector, the secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Let's see the details. So, what is the classification of Indian economy? So this is the Indian economy can be classified into primary, secondary and tertiary sector. What is primary sector? Activities undertaken by directly using natural resources, for example agriculture, mining, fishing, forestry, dairy, etc. It is called primary sector because it forms the base for all other products that we subsequently make. Since most of the natural products we get are from agricultural, dairy, forestry, fishing, it is also called agricultural and related sector. So from the picture it's very clear. Secondary sector. It covers activity in which natural products are changed into other forms through ways of manufacturing that we associate with industry activity. It is the next step after primary, where the product is not produced by nature but has to be made. Some process of manufacturing is essential. It could be in a factory, a workshop, or at home. Example, using cotton fiber from plant, we spin yarn and we have cloth. Using sugar cane as a raw material, we make sugar or wood. We convert earth into bricks. Since this sector is associated with different kinds of industries, it is also called industrial sector. So I hope the manufacturing sector is quite clear to you. Secondary sector. And now tertiary sector. What are the details of the tertiary sector? These are the activities that helps in the development of a primary and secondary sector. These activities by themselves do not produce goods, but they are in aid and support to the production process. For example, transportation. Goods that are produced in the primary sector needs to be transported by trucks or trains and then sold in the wholesale retail shops. Storage. At times it is necessary to store these products in godowns, which is also a service made available. Communication. Talking to others on telephone. So this is the service sector, you can say. Then working conditions of the workers in organized and unorganized sector. So on the basis of ownership, public and private distribution is there. Service sector include, how do we count the various goods and services and know the total production in each sector? So what is GDP? The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year. And sum of the production in three sectors give gross domestic product. GDP of the country is the value of all final goods and services produced within the country during a particular year. GDP shows how big the economy is. Measuring GDP is undertaken by the central government ministry with the help of various government departments of Indian states and union territories. Historical change in the sectors, three sectors. Initial changes. After observing the changes that have come in the development pattern of the sectors, it has been found that in the initial stages of the development, the primary sector was the most important sector of economic activity. As the methods of farming changed and agriculture sector began to prosper, produce much more food than before, and many people could take up many other activities, which led to increase in number of activities. However, at the stage, most of the goods produced were natural products from the primary sector, hence most people were employed in this sector. Second stage and third stage. Over a long time, more than 100 years or so, because new methods of manufacturing were introduced, factories came up and started expanding. People began to work in the factories in large numbers, and also people started using factories goods in large number as they were cheap. Secondary Secondary sector gradually became the most important in the total production and employment. Therefore, the shift and importance of the sectors also changed. In past 100, there has been a further shift from secondary to tertiary sector. In the developed countries, the service sector has become the most important in terms of total production. Now, what is how the rising importance of the tertiary sector is there? How nowadays tertiary sector is getting more importance? Over 30 years between 1973 and 2003, production in the tertiary sector has increased most and it has emerged as the largest producing sectors in India, replacing the primary sector. Role of the tertiary sector. Transition shows level of country's development in improved specialization, but it's better to avoid extending service part in economy over 40 to 50% of GDP. So from this graph, it is very clear that how tertiary sector is now getting important and giving production. Where are most of the people employed? The primary sector employed the largest number of people in India. It is because not enough jobs were created in the secondary and tertiary sector. So still in primary sector, the people are more employed. Underemployment. What do you mean by underemployment? It is a situation where people are apparently working, but all of them are made to work less than their potential. If few people move off, it not affect their production. It is hidden in contrast to the open unemployment, where a person is clearly visible or visibly without job. It is also called disguised unemployment. This understand also happens in the this underemployment also happen in the other sectors. For example, there are thousands of casual workers in service sector in the urban areas of painters, plumbers, repair persons, etc. What is Manrega? Narega? National Rural Employment Guaranteed Act. Started by the central government, made a law implementing right to work in 200 districts of India. All those who are in need of work will get guaranteed 100 days work, and if the government fails to do so, it will give unemployment allowance to them. The work will of the type which will in the future help to increase the production from land. So 100 days employment, guaranteed employment by the government. Organized and unorganized sector. Organized sector, if you will see, terms of employment are regular, so people have assured work. Registered by the government, follow rules and regulations given in the various laws, has some found processes and procedures. Benefits from the employment. Paid leaves, payment during holidays, provident fund, gratuity, medical benefits. Workers get pension after retirement. Unorganized sector, characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. There are rules and regulations, but these are not followed. Low paid jobs and are not regular. Disadvantages from the employees. There is a provision for overtime, paid leaves, holidays, to sickness. Employment is not secure. For example, farmers work on their own and hire labor as and when they require. Some people can also be asked to leave the job. So no guaranteed employment is there, no appointment letter. Anytime they can be said to move. How to protect workers in the unorganized sector? How can we protect the workers? Setting up small scale industries in semi-rural areas, implementing many programs such as Manrega 2005, creating job opportunities, service sector, school, tourism, hospital. Also credits at the lower rate. We can give them credits. Sectors in terms of ownership and public sector, very important question. Public sector, organized by the government. provides facilities to the workers like fixed employment, fixed working hours. Main aim is to provide public welfare. Examples of public sector are Indian Railways, hospitals, parks, libraries, etc. Some public services by the government are Indian Railways, post offices, you can see here. Private sector, organized by the private individuals, does not provide fixed employment and fixed working hours to workers. India main aim is to make profit for themselves. Examples of private sector are Birla Company and Reliance. Qualities of public sector: job security, generous benefits, more relaxed atmosphere. Qualities of private sector: more opportunities for promotion as the company grows. These jobs tend to pay higher. More prestige, and the private sector is supposedly more efficient. Less bureaucracy. So I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you so much.